Hey, good morning. I did it again. I got so involved with Googling information to share with you that I forgot what time it was, and I acknowledge that I am 1 minute late this morning. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. Woohoo. Ah, hey, today is a very important day. Do you know why it's important? It's important because today is the day that the swallows come back to Capistrano. Yeah. Have you ever been there for that? Because I have a few times. I remember when my family first moved to California, we had heard about the swallows at the mission in Capistrano, which is down towards San Diego in Southern California. So my parents took us down there to see the swallows come back. And we got there on the right day. Parking was a little difficult, I will tell you, even way back then, because everybody wanted to see the swallows come back because those birds would come back on the same day. I believe it was St. Joseph's Day, and they would come back on the same day every year en masse. It was like amazing. Somebody would yell, they're coming, they're coming. And the next thing you know, there's like these hordes of birds. It was almost scary to see how many birds were coming all at the same time. And they make these like amazing nests, not like what you're used to. I'm not sure what they even use, but it looks almost like they're made out of clay, not, your typical bird's nest. Anyway, over the years, there was some controversy about the swallows, and there were those who didn't like the swallows coming. And well, come on, let's be honest. Birds poop, they aren't exactly neat and clean. There was a lot of controversy about the swallows, and little by little, the swallows stopped doing their 6,000-mile trek every year to end winter and come back to the mission, but they were spreading out all over the place. So they called in experts. This is like so cool. They called in swallow experts, truly. And one of the first things they did was build nests in like little bird communities all over the mission so that the birds would feel like they had a place to come back to. Because apparently the swallows like to reuse nests year after year. So these weren't bird made, they were man made, but apparently they worked because the first year they did get birds who stopped and used the nests. They also did recordings of swallow bird calls, and they had them playing all over the mission. It was like this huge mission to get the birds back to the mission because the birds needed to be on a mission. Anyway, it worked. And now the swallows are coming back to Capistrano again. If you do get a chance to be there on the 19th of March, St. Joseph's Day, I highly recommend it. The area around the mission is far more built up than it used to be. I mean, it used to be a tiny little touristy kind of thing. Now it's like this huge tourist area, but there's more parking. That's the good news, I guess, and it's not terribly far off the freeway. So if you get a chance to go up there today, go see the swallows. They've come back to Capistrano. Yay. In 1931, on this very day, 1931, that's like 90 years ago, right? My goodness, it is. It's 90 years ago. Legalized gambling came to Nevada. And that desert outpost became the Mecca that it is now for so many people. I used to make a pilgrimage now and then, and go to Las Vegas and try my luck and see some shows and eat some great food. It's, it's been a pandemic plus since I've been there. It's been quite a while. Quite a while. Yeah, I used to love gambling. I mean, I guess I still must like it somewhere deep inside me, but I just don't do it anymore because the idea of being indoors with that many people and sitting that close to each other, and just can't do it. Can I give you just a small idea of how much money I've saved in the last year by not gambling? Woo! And that's not to say I didn't hit some big jackpots. I did. But when you win like $10,000 on a jackpot, you go buy yourself one nice thing and then you basically spend the rest of the time gambling it back away, right? Well, some people do. That's why I don't gamble anymore. I guess I'm not that smart of a gambler. I was lucky, but I wasn't that smart. What else? What else? Oh, my dishwashing saga. You know how I've been telling you for ages that I absolutely abhor Temcor, the delivery company that brought my broken dishwashers and caused me so much heartache and misery over the last year. But I finally got a refund, not a refund. I finally got a check to try and make up for this broken ceramic tiles on my counter. And that will cover about 1/10. Yeah, about 1/10 of what we're going to spend to get new counters. And they're coming today to measure for them. So in the next few weeks, I should be getting new counters in the kitchen. We should be getting new counters in the kitchen. We picked out this giant slab, and now they're coming over to measure how they're going to cut it out. It's like doing this like Tetris puzzle. It's very cool, actually. And then they'll take it back and they'll fabricate it, cut out all the spots they need and cut the pieces to the right size, and then bring it back over and build us a granite counter. It should be interesting. I'll maybe take some before and after pictures and share with you. What else? It's the first it's International Women's Week month. The first one was in 1911. We've been pushing for this for a long time, huh? Yay, girls. You go, women. Woo! Let's get things evened up, huh? We're not asking for more than our share. We're just asking for our share. That's fair. It's World Sleep Day. Whoa, this morning you could tell. This morning I sure could have used a little more. Last night was supposed to be sleep in the casita night, because everything was working again. And my sweetie got all ready for bed and took some stuff over there. I got a big bottle of water ready and my plug for my phone and got my slippers on to trudge across the lawn to the casita in time for him to be coming out and say, not happening tonight, no power again. Come on, Casita. I'm going to pick up my guest tomorrow, and she needs a place to stay. We got to fix this thing up. Happy birthday to Wyatt Earp. Yeah, I didn't know Wyatt Earp, but I sure did watch Hugh O'Brien play him on TV. And then many of you probably saw Kevin Costner play Wyatt Earp in the movies. Again, Googling is so much fun because you learn so much. I don't want to give away all the secrets, but you might just want to check who was on that show, because it was a show of like typical Western of the 50s and 60s, but there were so many people on the show who became famous. And speaking of which, how did I even get on Little House on the Prairie? There was a whole thing on Little House on the Prairie that I was looking at on the internet. And it was kind of one of those, what do they look like now? And I never did get to that point because I was so fascinated by who was on the show and stories about the cast. It was amazing. But my favorite part was that Sean Penn's father was the director on a bunch of episodes, and he cast his wife as Mrs. Kennedy. And Sean Penn, though he got no credit for it, had this bit part at age 13 or 12 or something as one of the kids on Little House on the Prairie. How cool is that? Yeah. There were a lot of famous people on those shows, and they became famous. That was kind of, the jump off point. Hey, got a new subscriber yesterday. I did I write down? Oh, I didn't write down what the name was. But when you subscribe and you have like an Instagram kind of name, I don't know who you are, so I don't know how to say thank you. But it means so much to me when you sign up. I don't know, we've kind of talked about this a little bit before, but here's the deal. When you sign up as a subscriber, it makes a big difference to me. We've got almost 1,000 people on What Do I Say, What Do I Do? But we only have a tenth of that, little over a tenth of that on YouTube. YouTube can be monetized, and I don't have to do anything to ask you to help because it can be monetized. Yeah. And anyway, if you enjoy this, subscribe and get your friends to subscribe. It matters to me. Truly, it does. And check out today's word art. I think you're going to like it. That's what I do. Somebody said, hey, you need to come up with another thing to call it. Because when you call it word art, it sounds like you just, like do calligraphy or something. No. When I do word art, they're called quarts. What is a quart? A quart is a quote that is artistically created. That's what I do. My job is to motivate, inspire. That's why I'm here, to spread the joy and the happy. So I'm kind of toying with the idea of changing the names of Word Art by Sandye, which will still be Word Art by Sandye, but it won't be the name of the page or, be the name that I use. And I'm kind of, after almost 6 years, thinking about changing What Do I Say, What Do I Do? Because it doesn't really say what we do anymore, does it? Okay, I'm open to your suggestions. Hop online, see what you come up with. And remember, every day starts with a sip and a smile and a whole lot of love. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Get ready for a great weekend. Bye-bye.